our game of the day, we're also sticking with college basketball. The Big 12 meets the Pac-12 in the Bahamas for the battle for Atlantis as number 6 Baylor, who is 4-0, takes on Arizona State 2-2. Baylor, the 12.5-point favorite as it stands, with a total here of 142.5. Arky, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, I know so many people want to get to the football talk, and that's great.
We'll get to a
lot
of
that.
There.
We'll get that into a minute. But there have been a few really good premier matchups in what has been televised as a feast week for these tournaments, and it's sort of all been an annual thing for a long time that you get sort of these Maui Invitationals, which is now in Vegas, and now the Fort Myers tip-off. Charleston's tipping off somewhere, and of course the game that we're talking about here with Baylor and Arizona State. Baylor lost 4 starters off last year's championship team. 4. I don't know if you know this about basketball. You only get 5 starters. So that is a lot of dudes to be able to miss, including your top 3 scorers. And how did they rebound? Well, they just had the best recruiting class they've ever had. They got the number 4 class overall, according to the ranking systems, and they got a nice little Arizona transfer who's having his best assist season. He's not quite scoring nearly as many points. Yeah, I want to get his name right. It's James Akinjo, who is having a great 3-point shooting season. He's over 40% from beyond the arc. He's having his best season there too. He's been a really, really, really good asset for them, and they brought back their 7 top dudes. Who were not the starters last season. So it's a team that knows how to play under Drew's defense, which is a very, very prolific defense. They like to cause a lot of turnovers. A lot. In fact, they're 3rd in the country when it comes to total number of turnovers forced per game. And they're going against an Arizona State team who lost 60% of the total minutes played they had last season. That's a huge chunk to sort of rebound from. And they've had a tough 3/4 court buzzer beater loss earlier this season to, I think, it's UCal Riverside. And they've not looked very good this year. Although they've had some moments. They're not the James Harden Arizona State that we've grown to love. So Arizona State is a 12.5-point underdog, and it makes sense. They give up nearly 14 turnovers a game. That's like 137th in the country right now. It's not great. And they're going to go against a defense that's going to trap, put you over in the corners, put you on the sidelines, and try to force those easy turnovers to get easy buckets. And I think they're going to be able to do that again here against Arizona State. I think there's just too much Baylor Bear firepower and defense in this game that I think they go and they roll against Arizona State.
I'm right there with you. All I got to say is good luck to ASU. Seeing as how Baylor has been beating their opponents, they've been beating their opponents by nearly 35 points per game. Starting with the Bears, they are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games following a straight-up win of more than 20 points. They are also 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games played at a neutral site. It is not great for the Sun Devils, who are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at a neutral site. They are also 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against teams with a winning percentage of 600 or more. The last time these two teams faced each other, it was March of 2013, and Baylor barely took that game 89-86. Obviously, a lot has changed in 8 years, but then again, maybe not, because I'm going to take the obvious choice here and ride with Baylor at minus 12.5. I'm honestly surprised the spread isn't larger than the 13 since they are blowing teams out. But as for the total of 142.5, that's tricky to exceed when the Bears have been holding their opponents to under 60 and 50 points. However, they have gone over this total of 143 twice this season. ASU is currently 4-0 on the under in their last 4. So I'm not going to take the total, but I would kind of lean the over since Baylor is putting up so much despite keeping their opponents low. But riding with Baylor here at minus 12.5.
That's interesting. I would sort of tend to lean the under if I was going to play it. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play the spread instead. I think Baylor is they've started off the season quite nicely. I don't know if we're talking about this early season rounding into form, but they really don't show a lot of drop-off from last year's team.